Hi guys, welcome back to Fragments of a Simple Life, where every video I make is super simple, including this one. I don't usually show my face, but yesterday my son came home with this red folder from school, and it's full of like little short stories that his teacher sent home that he can do kind of like summer school work where you read the short story and then there's like 3 questions I think on the back of every page to like test reading comprehension, because so often kids when they go on summer vacation they lose. I don't know the like actual percentage, but I think it's like 60% of what you learn you lose if you don't keep working on it in summer vacation. So the teacher, she went above and beyond. She did this book of reading comprehension. She sent home like a whole textbook that I could show you guys in another video if you want, to practice cursive, because they learn, I don't know how it is where you guys live, but they don't teach cursive anymore. In my school district where we live in California, they teach cursive for like, I don't know, a month or two during third grade, and then it completely stops. So she sent a whole textbook home that the kids barely even used. So he has that. He has some like math that he can do. And then she sent home this. So I thought this would be kind of a fun video if you are doing something else like cleaning house, or if you are just wanting to close your eyes and not pay attention to my hands and me doing something. I very rarely show my face. I'm trying to use my window as like my light because it's a cloudy day. And like I said, this is very impromptu. I did not like practice this video. He just got this folder yesterday and I was like, I'm gonna read some of these stories to you guys. So I'll read the story. They're all short stories, like super short. This is third grade level. My son is 9 years old. I'm just gonna read the story and then I will answer or ask some of the questions, the 3 questions. Then I'll pause in between each question maybe, so that in your own head, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you can test your own comprehension, because I don't know, it's just fun. I know none of us are in third grade, but it's just fun. So let's try the first story, which is The Alien with the Missing Tooth. Joe lived on the planet Zoop. He had 2 heads and 3 mouths. One day, Joe lost his tooth. It was his first tooth to go missing. He ran to his mom and told her the news. She looked very upset. "We must find that missing tooth," she said. Joe went to his dad and told him the news. "We must find that missing tooth," he said. Joe was very upset. He didn't want to lose any more teeth. He traveled all over space, looking everywhere. He didn't find it on the moon. He didn't find it in the stars. "It must be on Earth," he said. He got into a spaceship and flew to Earth. He looked under the ocean. He looked on top of the mountains. He couldn't find it anywhere. Joe was sad that his tooth was gone for good. He went home and told his mom and dad the news. "I lost my tooth for good," he said. When he went to brush his teeth that night, he saw something in the sink. "My tooth, it was here all along." That's it. That's the whole story. Okay, so here are the 3 questions to see how good we are at paying attention. I'm not going to answer them. I'm asking, kind of like I'm the teacher, and then you tell me in your head what the answers are. Number 1, describe what Joe looks like. Good? Okay. Number 2, why was Joe upset? Good. And number 3, how was the problem solved? Done? Did you do a good job? I'm sure you did. Okay, let's read another one. This one's called Sister Trees. There once were 3 trees. They stood side by side with each other. The first tree was tall and slim. Her leaves were long. The second tree was short and stout. Her leaves were round. That's me. I'm the short tree. The tree in the middle was not tall. It was not short. This tree drooped. She no longer grew any leaves. This is already depressing. I'm so pretty, said the tall tree. I'm so healthy, said the short tree. I'm neither, said the tree in the middle. She was very sad. The rain made the tall tree grow taller. The rain made the short tree fatter. That's rude. The rain made the tree in the middle droop even more. She wished she were taller. She wished she was fuller. She wished she had leaves. One day, the tall tree began to droop. The middle tree comforted her and told her she had many years ahead. One day, the short and stout tree began to lose her leaves, and the middle tree comforted her and told her she still had many more. The droopy tree without leaves was no longer sad. She knew she had lived a long time. Her job was not to look pretty, but to help others. Doesn't that just seem like the beginning of like a really good story? I feel like I want to read like a whole chapter about these sister trees and it just stops. I'm kind of bummed out about that. Okay, here are the 3 comprehension questions. Number 1, what does the middle tree want? What does the middle tree want? Okay, number 2. What did the middle tree do when the other trees started to droop and lose their leaves? Well, I think she was very kind. How did the droopy tree feel at the end of the passage? I will say this, I think it's kind of weird that they ended it by the droopy tree feeling better about herself because her sisters felt like crap. I don't know, that's a little aggressive to me. She's like, you guys are ugly now, so I feel better. I'm just saying. Okay. Next story called Silly Dreams. Every night I go to sleep, I never stay in bed. This is more like a rhyme, like a poem. I go to faraway places, but only in my head. Just the other day, I had tea with the queen. She was not very kind and really rather mean. I can go to space. I will dance with the moon. If I'm feeling hungry, I can eat him with a spoon. The stars are tasty too, with sugar and cream. I eat until I burst. It's only a dream. I will ride a lion with a pink nose and purple tail. I'll race against a blue whale. The jungle has lions, tigers, and bears. They all wear dresses and have feathers for hair. Sometimes I fly and sometimes I soar. The grass is my sky and the clouds my floor. I'm graceful like the birds. I am faster than a rocket. When I need to rest, I can sleep in a cloud pocket. Today, when I dream, I will think about clowns. No, thank you. They know how to chase away frowns. I will play cards with fish and sleep in the middle of the sea. I will share a piece of cake with a bumblebee. Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Okay. Comprehension question number 1. Where does the narrator go instead of staying in bed? Giving you a second to answer. Describe the personality of the queen. She was mean. Queen mean. What does the narrator do when he is in space? I already don't remember. But I have menopause brain, so... trying to find one that's not a poem. It seems like there's several in a row in this like packet that are poems. Another one that's a poem about monkeys. Okay, I think this one's not a poem, but it looks really short. The Brave Spider. In the kitchen on the top shelf lived a little black spider that was very lonely. He watched the family eat breakfast. He watched the family eat lunch. He watched the family eat dinner. He wanted to come down and visit the family, but he was afraid of heights. He was stuck on top of the shelf. One day, a fly happened by. "Why are you so sad?" asked the fly. "I want to get down, but I'm afraid of falling." The fly buzzed around him. He flew up, and he flew down, and he flew front, and he flew back. He flew in a circle twice. "Wow, you're really good at flying," said the spider. "I'm just very brave," said the fly. "You can do anything if you're brave." The spider watched his new friend fly a little bit longer. He wanted to be brave like him. Maybe if he was brave, he could get down from the shelf. He made sure he was stuck to his web. Then he closed his eyes, he took a deep breath, and he counted to 3. 1, 2, 3. The spider jumped off the shelf. He was flying. He was brave. He crashed into a bowl of milk. Just kidding. That's not true. Okay. Number 1. Where did the brave spider live? Number 2. What was the spider too afraid to do? Number 3, how did the fly help the spider? Well, he flew around in circles and he made him really dizzy. Just kidding. Okay. The sad snail. Some of these stories are really depressing. Why are they depressing? Okay. The sad snail. Herbert, love that already. Herbert lived in a garden next to a woodshed. Herbert was a snail who lived by himself. He liked to climb the bushes and snack on the leaves. Herbert had a good life, but he was sad and he had no friends. Dang, this is a depressing story. One morning, Herbert woke up and found his shell was too small. He had eaten so many leaves, and now his body was too big. He needed to find a new shell. Herbert was scared. He had never left his garden before. He crawled to the edge of the woodshed. He knew he needed to be brave. Another story about bravery. I love that. Herbert met a worm along the way. The worm asked to come along, and Herbert and the worm looked for a shell. They met a cricket. The cricket asked to come along, and together Herbert, the worm, and the cricket looked for a shell. They met a slug. The slug asked to come along, and together Herbert, the worm, the cricket, and the slug looked for a shell. Finally, Herbert found an empty shell that fit just right. He told his friends it was time to go home. They were all sad. Herbert asked them all to come with him. Now they would never have to be sad again. Oh, that's cute. He made a group of friends by letting them all do volunteer work with him looking for a new shell. Number 1, what did Herbert like to do? Oh, climb bushes and snack on leaves. I already forgot. Number 2, what did Herbert want? A new shell. Number 3, who helped Herbert find a shell? There were several, right? Worm, cricket, and a slug. Did I get it? I don't know. Let's look for some more stories. A lot of these are rhyming, but doesn't that help like for memory? I think like if it rhymes like a poem, you're more likely to remember it for the comprehension questions. All right, this one's interesting. The cocoon. Snuggled on a bush was a cocoon. The cocoon was wrapped around a branch. It was soft like a feather and green like a leaf. When the rain came, it stayed safe. When the wind blew, it did not move. And when the sun shone, it was strong. One hot summer day, the cocoon began to shake. Back and forth it jiggled, up and down it wiggled. Soon there was a crack, and the crack got bigger and bigger. Out came a black and orange wing that stretched wide open. On the other side of the cocoon, there was another crack, and it got bigger and bigger. Out came a black and orange wing that stretched open wide. It pushed and pulled until finally it was free. One wing fluttered, and the other one did at the same time until this one has like some typos. Until it was strong and ready. Gently it moved both wings and lifted away from the bush. Up, up, up it flew, high into the sky, fluttering over flowers and zipping past the trees. Through a field it danced, past a forest it soared. No longer a caterpillar crawling on the ground, it was now a big and beautiful butterfly. My dog is on my couch right in front of me, sleeping like a human being on a pillow and snoring. I just wanted to share. I also have like a regular like old-fashioned clock that way. So if you guys hear like a tick, 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 it's the clock. And if you hear snoring, it's not a human, it's my dog. Just wanted to tell you. Describe the location of the cocoon. It's question number 1. Number 2, what happened when the cocoon began to shake? Number 3, where did the butterfly travel? Did you get them all? Okay, good. I'm trying to look for a good one. Here, let's go back. Pirates. I'll probably read like 2 more after this. Pirates are not a made-up fairy tale. Period. They really existed. Back when the world used ships to travel, there were lots of pirates. The word pirate means a person who breaks the law at sea. Pirates knew how to break the law. They stole other people's food, weapons, and clothing. They were not as horrible as some people think. Pirates wanted treasure and would steal all of it if they could. Once pirates took over a ship, the people surrendered quickly. That way, no one got hurt. Pirates got their ears pierced and wore gold earrings. Is that true? That's not a stereotype. They did this so they would always have something of value with them. Oh, guess it's not a stereotype. I should keep reading. If their bodies washed on shore, they at least had their earring. One gold earring could pay for their funeral. Aww. Pirates were good at treating other pirates fairly. Once they took their treasure, they split it with the other pirates. Sometimes the captain was not nice. If that happened, they could agree not to listen to him. This kept everyone on a pirate ship happy. Other ships were sent to look for pirates. Kings wanted to keep the waters safe. They wanted to make sure their treasures did not get taken. Makes sense. Number 1, what does the word pirate mean? Number 2, what are some things pirates would do? And number 3, why did a pirate wear a gold earring? I'm learning something new, you guys. I had no idea. Like, please tell me in the comments if you know more about pirates. I did not know that they did wear a gold earring, that that was not just a stereotype, and it was so they had something of value on their physical being at all times. That is news to me. That makes me want to do like a Google deep dive on pirates. Crazy. Would that be a good like video if I just grab my Chromebook, I picked a topic or like a true story, like a crime story, and like in real time I was like researching it and talking to you guys about it as if you were like in the room with me? I think that would be kind of fun video. Let me know if you guys want me to do something like that. Okay, let me see. It's another story about a butterfly. Okay, fairy tales. What do elves, fairies, goblins, and mermaids have in common? They are written about in fairy tales. Fairy tales are short stories that have magic in them. Most fairy tales have happy endings. Fairy tales are different from legends, folk tales, and fables. A legend is a story that starts from something people believe is real. A fable is a story that is trying to teach a lesson. A folk tale is a story that's told by word of mouth. This means it was not written down. No one knows who started it. Fairy tales were once written for adults rather than children. Isn't that crazy? Fairy tales are stories about good and evil. There can be talking animals, witches, giants, anything else that's magical. The most famous authors of fairy tales are the Brothers Grimm. That's why a lot of people say like the Brothers Grimm fairy tales are kind of scary. And there was that show called, I think it was called Grimm, and that was not like a fairy show or like a fairy tale show that was like cute. It was like scary. They were from Germany and collected most of their stories from others. Countries around the world all have their own fairy tales. They are all different, but they all have similar characters. Disney, I'm looking at you for copying a lot of stories. In other countries, the giants are nice. Oh, sorry, I skipped a sentence. In some countries, they have stories where the giants are mean, and in other countries, the giants are nice. Some fairy tales have fairies that are big, and some have fairies that are smaller than flowers. Number 1, what types of characters might you find in fairy tales? Pretty much anything that's not a human, right? Number 2, who are the most famous authors of fairy tales? And number 3, what are fairy tales? Seems like that should have been the first question. Okay, I'm going to try to find one more short story. I'm not going to end it with a story about bacteria, but there is one. Okay, birds of prey. I love birds. For a bird to be considered a bird of prey, it must have certain body parts. Good eyesight is important to see from far away. This helps them hunt small animals. Strong feet are needed to help carry the food. A curved beak is good for tearing apart flesh. Sharp talons are used for catching prey. There are many different kinds of birds of prey. Eagles nest in many locations, including forests, swampland, and open prairies. They are large birds with long wings. Usually, they like to be far from human activity. Falcons have long, pointed wings. They have special wings that help them to fly at great speeds. Owls hunt at night. The other birds of prey hunt during the daytime. owls come in different sizes. Some are only inches in size, like an elf owl. I did not know that. I am learning new things, and I am definitely not in third grade. Others are more than 6 feet long, like the great horned owl. Owls hunt silently. They have excellent hearing. Vultures eat carrion, which is dead and decaying meat. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. They have heads with little or no feathers. Hawks are medium-sized birds that live in woodland areas. They hunt with sudden dashes off high perches. Their tails are long to help them steer. Cool. All right, you guys, I think that's gonna be it, because there's only a couple left and they look kind of boring. Anyways, thank you for letting me read this folder full of random short stories to you. I didn't do the comprehension questions, did I? Hold on. Can't believe I didn't do that. Wait, this video is not over. Number 1, what body parts are important for a bird of prey? Number 2, what types of birds are birds of prey? I can name a couple. And number 3, what do birds of prey usually eat? Now I'm done. Sorry if there was any other ones where I didn't do the questions. I just love these little stories. It's funny, when I pulled this out of my son's backpack, he's like, oh, we don't need that. And I was like, what is it? And he's like, oh, it's work that my teacher gave all of us. And I was like, we're keeping this. This was very nice of her. Like, look at all these like papers in here. Like, we're not getting rid of this. Like, there's probably like 20 or maybe even 30 pages in here, like stories. They're just short enough to like keep a kid's attention, and the questions are easy enough to like just make sure reading comprehension stays fresh. It's such a easy thing to lose. So sorry to my son, but like I told my husband, there will be at least one day a week where I'm making my kids do reading or some like worksheets. They are good students and I want them to stay that way. But anyways, you guys, thank you for watching this different video. My hair is crazy per usual. This was completely unplanned. Like I said, my son brought this home yesterday and I thought it'd be interesting to get on camera and read some of the stories with you. I liked it and I learned a couple of new things about pirates and birds and stuff, so that was cool. If you want to see more from me, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate every single one of you. Let me know if you want to see my face more. That's what I look like. I'll see you next time. Bye.